Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Talkish English Channel. It's Alex here. And today we're diving into a topic so many learners ask about. How English speaking improvement videos actually help people become fluent. I'm really excited because this isn't just something I enjoy watching. It's something that honestly changed the way I speak and even the way I think in English. And I know Emma has a lot to say about this too.
Hi everyone. This is Emma. And yes, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this topic. Because speaking improvement videos were literally my lifeline when I started learning at home. You know, Alex, before I discovered those videos, I felt stuck. I didn't have anyone to practice with. I didn't know how to structure my speaking practice. And I didn't really understand what fluency meant. I thought fluency was just knowing lots of grammar rules. But when I watched my first English speaking video, I realized fluency is about rhythm, intonation, confidence, flow, and sound, not just grammar. That moment changed everything for me.
Exactly. I felt the same. The first time I watched a speaking improvement video, one where the teacher just spoke slowly, clearly, and naturally, I suddenly realized how much of English I'd been learning in a stiff, unnatural way. It was like I had learned the skeleton of the language but not the heart of it. Speaking videos gave me that missing part. The soul of English. The way people stress certain words. The way they pause. The way they stretch sounds when they're thinking. The way their voice goes up when they're unsure or down when they're certain. Those subtle details made me feel like I was soaking English into my whole body, not just into my brain.
I love how you describe that. The heart and soul of the language. I also felt that English came alive when I listened to people talk naturally in videos. And you know what's amazing? Those videos gave me not just words, but also confidence. I would repeat the lines with the speakers, mimic their tone. And then suddenly I felt like I was actually speaking English, not just translating from my native language. It was almost like wearing a new voice, a new identity, a new version of myself. And the more I practiced with those videos, the more that voice became real.
Yes, that identity shift is so real. I think speaking improvement videos help learners step into a speaking zone. Even if you're alone in your room, you suddenly feel like you're talking to someone, reacting to someone, matching someone's energy. You're not just learning English, you're experiencing it. And the more immersive the experience, the faster the improvement. When I watched speaking videos, I wasn't just repeating words, I was absorbing patterns, expressions, fillers, reactions, and natural responses. And those things, honestly, are what make English feel alive and fluent.
And speaking of natural responses, that's something I want to highlight because many learners underestimate it. When you talk to real people, you don't just speak, you react. You say things like, "Really?" Quote, "No way." Quote, "Wait, what?" Quote, "Hold on. Let me think, are you serious?" Quote, "That's interesting, I didn't know that," and so on. Speaking improvement videos teach those little reaction phrases that make conversations flow smoothly. Before watching those videos, I sounded like a robot. Very correct, but very unnatural. After watching them, I sounded human.
That's so relatable. I remember repeating natural expressions from videos over and over again until they felt automatic. And videos that included dialogues were especially helpful. I would pause after every line and try to say it myself. At first, it felt awkward. But with time, those patterns stuck in my mind. It became easier to speak without thinking too much. And one day, during a real conversation, I used a phrase that I didn't even consciously remember learning. It just came out. That's when I realized the videos were shaping my instincts.
Exactly. They build your speaking reflexes. And it's so much fun because you can choose videos based on your mood. If you want slow speaking, you pick a slow one. If you want fast, natural conversation, you choose that. If you want pronunciation drills, you watch those. If you want speaking practice with pauses for you to repeat, you pick shadowing videos. It's like choosing a personal trainer for your English skills. One that never gets tired, never complains, and is always available.
And I love that you mentioned shadowing because that technique changed my fluency more than anything else. When I shadowed speakers in videos, I wasn't just repeating words. I was absorbing the music of English. The melody, the rhythm, the feeling. And the coolest part is that even if you don't understand every word, your mouth learns the movement. Your tongue learns the patterns. Your vocal cords learn the flow. It's like training your entire speaking system.
And that brings me to something I want learners to know. Speaking improvement videos don't just improve your English. They improve your attitude toward English. They make the language feel friendly, approachable, exciting, alive. Instead of studying English like a subject, you feel like you're living it. And that shift, from studying to living, is the biggest secret to fluency.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the biggest thing. When you start enjoying English, improvement becomes automatic. You don't have to force yourself anymore. You want to watch more videos, repeat more sentences, practice more expressions. English becomes part of your lifestyle. And speaking videos are perfect for that because they feel like mini conversations, mini experiences, mini adventures.
And not only that, they help break the fear of speaking. I used to be terrified of speaking English. My voice would shake, my heart would race, I would overthink every word. But after watching speaking videos again and again, I started feeling less scared. It's like the videos gave me permission to speak imperfectly. They showed me that making mistakes is normal. That natural speech includes hesitations. That fluency doesn't mean perfection. It means confidence.
Exactly. And honestly, the more speaking videos I watched, the more I started noticing something else. English is emotional. The way people emphasize parts of their sentences. The way they raise their eyebrows. The way they breathe between phrases. It taught me that speaking is not just about words but about expressing yourself. And that's something no textbook can ever teach.
That's beautiful, Alex. And I think that's a perfect message for everyone watching us. Speaking improvement videos aren't just tools. They're windows into real communication. They help you feel the language. Not just study it. They help you grow not just academically, but personally. They teach you to be brave, expressive, confident, open.
Yes. And I hope everyone watching the Talkish English channel today remembers this. If you want to improve your English speaking, you don't need perfect grammar, expensive courses, or native speaking friends. You just need consistency, curiosity, and the willingness to speak, even when you're scared, even when you're imperfect. And speaking improvement videos are one of the most powerful tools to guide you on that journey.
Absolutely. Keep watching, keep practicing, keep repeating, keep shadowing, keep enjoying, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Because the fluent version of you is not far away. You're already on your way. And every video, every sentence, every effort brings you closer.
Honestly, Emma, when I first started watching English speaking improvement videos, I had no idea they would change my life this much. I remember sitting on my old couch with my tiny phone, thinking, okay, maybe I'll understand 20%. But then I found creators who spoke slowly, clearly, and naturally. It almost felt like they were having a personal conversation with me. And that made me come back every single day. And the more I watched, the more I realized that English wasn't just a subject. It was a skill I could actually feel growing inside me, like a little spark turning into a flame.
That's exactly how I felt too. At first, English-speaking videos looked intimidating, especially when they used native expressions or spoke at normal speed. But then I found a few channels that really focused on real-life situations, like grocery shopping, asking for directions, job interviews, and suddenly everything clicked. I started repeating after them, pausing the video, mimicking their pronunciation, testing different intonations. It was like having my own personal coach right at home. And the craziest part? I didn't even realize I was improving until one day I watched a video with no subtitles and understood everything.
Same here. Subtitles used to be my comfort zone. I turned them on automatically every time. But then I discovered a trick. Watch once with subtitles to understand the flow. Watch again with English subtitles to connect sounds with words. And then watch a third time with no subtitles to force my ears to work. It was tough. Like going to the gym after months of doing nothing. But it built my listening skills so fast. And speaking videos made it fun because they always encouraged repeating out loud, which helped me stop feeling shy or afraid of my own voice.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Repeating out loud is a game changer. A lot of learners underestimate it because it feels embarrassing at first. Especially if you live with your family or roommates who can hear you practicing. But once you push through that discomfort, your tongue becomes more flexible. Your mouth muscles get used to English sounds. And suddenly you're speaking smoothly without thinking too much. Another thing I love about these videos is shadowing exercises. When you imitate the speaker in real time, it forces you to match their speed, rhythm, and tone. That technique alone made my speaking level jump dramatically.
And the fun part is that English speaking improvement videos now come in so many styles. You have teachers who focus on pronunciation, others who teach real conversation, some who share story-based lessons, and even videos with daily routines, like Get Ready With Me in English, or Study With Me sessions. I love those because they feel natural and not like a traditional classroom. They help you absorb English like a lifestyle, not just a lesson. I think that's why home learners improve so fast, because they learn through immersion without feeling forced.
Exactly. And honestly, I think the biggest secret behind these videos is consistency. Not perfection, not grammar, not memorizing rules. Just showing up, watching a little bit every day, listening to how natives talk, repeating sentences until they feel natural. I remember watching short clips while brushing my teeth, cooking, waiting for a taxi, even during lunch breaks at work. Those tiny sessions added up over time and made a massive difference. And sometimes, improvement videos give you motivation too. Teachers remind you that mistakes are normal, that progress is not always visible, and that learning is a journey.
That's why channels like Talkish English Channel matter so much. It's not just teaching vocabulary. It's building confidence through real conversations, practical examples, natural speech, and content learners can actually use. When I was learning, I always wished for a channel that made English feel friendly and human, not textbook-like or robotic. And now that we're creating these conversation videos, I feel like we're giving others the kind of learning environment we always wanted.
Absolutely. Because English-speaking videos don't just show you how to speak, they show you that you can speak. I used to think I wasn't good enough, that my accent was strange, that people would judge me. But after practicing with videos, repeating lines, shadowing real dialogues, and listening every day, I suddenly realized, wait, I'm actually speaking clearly. I'm actually expressing myself. That feeling of empowerment is priceless. And if viewers stick around, watch regularly, and follow along with us, I know their speaking skills will grow faster than they expect.
And the best part is that learning through videos is free, accessible, and flexible. You don't need expensive courses, tutors, or travel abroad. You just need curiosity, a phone, and a willingness to practice a little each day. English improvement videos are like a window to the world. They let you hear different accents, learn cultural context, understand humor, and communicate naturally. And we're here to help guide learners every step of the way.
So to everyone watching, keep going. You're improving even on the days you don't notice it. Your brain is absorbing new rhythms and patterns. Your pronunciation is getting clearer. Your confidence is growing. And every time you watch a speaking improvement video, whether it's ours or someone else's, you're taking another step toward fluency. Just don't stop. Keep practicing with us. Keep repeating. Keep speaking out loud. And one day you'll realize, oh wow, I'm speaking English without fear. And that moment is worth everything.
Emma, you know what's interesting? When people talk about English speaking improvement videos, they usually think it's just about repeating sentences or learning pronunciation. But honestly, for me, it went way deeper than that. Those videos changed how I thought, how I listened, how I expressed myself. They weren't just English lessons. They were like tiny daily moments that slowly transformed my confidence. I remember sitting in my room at night, replaying a single clip over and over, trying to copy the tone, the pauses, the attitude. It felt weird at first, but then suddenly I found myself speaking English in my mind, even when I wasn't watching anything.
Oh, I love that you said that. Because internal speaking is such a powerful stage in learning. When you start thinking in English, forming sentences naturally in your head, imagining conversations, that's when your fluency really starts to grow. And improvement videos help push you into that state. When you hear natural conversations every day, your brain begins to absorb sentence patterns like, how long have you been? Quote, by the way, quote, to be honest, quote, you know what I realized? These aren't things textbooks teach well, but videos do. And once those patterns live in your brain, speaking becomes almost automatic. You don't translate anymore. You just talk.
Exactly. And I think that's why so many learners love conversations like the ones we make. They get to see how real people talk, how they ask follow-up questions, how they agree, how they react, how they express emotions. Like, when you watch two people having a natural conversation, you're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning flow, the rhythm, the real-life timing. And English has lots of little sounds and fillers like, which make your speech more natural. Improvement videos help learners pick up those things unconsciously.
That's right. And sometimes, improvement videos give you something more valuable than language. Motivation. I still remember one video I watched years ago. The teacher said, your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be understood. And honestly, that sentence lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. Because I used to chase perfection. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect vocabulary. But improvement videos help me realize that English is a tool, not a test. It's for communication, not for impressing people. And when you finally accept that, speaking becomes so much easier.
And you know what else? Improvement videos gave me the courage to actually talk to people. Before that, I was terrified. My hands would shake. My mind would go blank. and I would whisper instead of speaking clearly. But after weeks of repeating and shadowing videos, my voice changed. It became stronger, clearer, more confident. And when I tried speaking to a tourist for the first time, I remember thinking, wow, I sound just like the videos I've been practicing with. That moment felt magical.
I love that story. And I think a lot of learners will relate. Because confidence doesn't come from knowing 3,000 vocabulary words. It comes from hearing yourself succeed. That one conversation, that one moment of "I did it," keeps you going. And improvement videos give learners hundreds of those tiny victories. Every time they pronounce something correctly. Every time they understand a new phrase. Every time they follow along with a shadowing exercise. They're growing stronger, even if they don't realize it yet.
And that's why channels like Talkish English Channel matter. It's not just a place to learn. It's a place to feel supported. A place where learners feel like they're not alone. Where they can practice listening, shadowing, repeating, and even thinking in English. We give them real conversations, natural speech, friendly voices, daily topics. The kind of content you wish you had when you first started.
Definitely. And the beautiful thing is that English improvement videos are accessible to everyone. Whether they're students, parents, working adults, introverts, people who can't attend classes, people living in places with no English environment. Anyone can open YouTube, watch for 5 minutes, and start improving. And you don't even need to understand everything. Your brain keeps learning anyway. I always tell learners, fluency is built quietly. You won't see the progress every day, but one day, it will surprise you. Quote.
Yes, that surprise moment is unforgettable. It feels like the world suddenly opens. And I want viewers to know something important. Your improvement will come faster than you think. As long as you stay consistent. Watch a little bit every day. Repeat out loud. Shadow when you can. Listen while you cook or clean. Turn English into a background sound of your life. And one day, you'll catch yourself understanding a movie scene without subtitles or speaking naturally with a stranger. And you'll realize, wait, I'm actually good at this. Quote.
And when that day comes, you'll feel proud, not because you learned English, but because you never gave up. You showed up, you practiced, you improved. And if you stick with us here on Talkish English Channel, we'll keep giving you conversations, stories, techniques, and natural speech to help you grow even more. So to everyone watching, keep listening, keep speaking, keep practicing with us. The English you dream of is already on its way.
You know, Emma, sometimes I think about how different my life would be if I had never discovered English speaking. Improvement videos. Like, imagine if I had never stumbled upon that one video where a teacher said, start small. Speak 1 sentence today. 2 sentences tomorrow. That simple idea changed my whole mindset. And I think that's the beauty of these videos. They reach you at the right moment. When you're stressed, discouraged, or doubting yourself. And suddenly they give you hope. They make you feel like learning English is not only possible, but actually enjoyable. And the more I watched, the more I felt this tiny spark inside me. It wasn't big, but it kept burning. It was the belief that I can do this. And honestly, that belief carried me through the hardest parts of learning.
I really understand that feeling. When I started learning, I was overwhelmed. English always felt like this huge mountain in front of me. Grammar rules, tenses, pronunciation, vocabulary, idioms. It felt impossible. But improvement videos broke that mountain into small pieces. One video taught me how to pronounce th. Another taught me the difference between I've been and I went. Another taught me how to start conversations without sounding awkward. And slowly, piece by piece, I began building confidence. It wasn't magical. It was consistent, quiet growth. And I think a lot of learners underestimate that. They think improvement needs to be fast, dramatic, or noticeable immediately. But it doesn't. Sometimes it's invisible for a long time. Until suddenly, one day, it becomes visible.
Yes, that one day is unforgettable. Mine happened when I was watching an English movie without subtitles. Just for fun. I decided to try. And I expected to understand nothing. But suddenly, I understood entire sentences. Not everything, of course, but enough to follow the story. I remember sitting up straight. Like, wait, did I just understand that without subtitles? I felt this huge wave of pride, almost like a shock. That moment didn't come from studying grammar books. It came from hours of listening to natural English. In improvement videos, conversations, daily topics. And that's why I always tell learners, don't underestimate listening. Listening every day changes your brain. It makes English feel familiar, predictable, logical, even comfortable.
Exactly. And speaking of comfort, improvement videos also help me soften my fear of making mistakes. Because the teachers in those videos weren't judging me. They spoke kindly. They encouraged me. They repeated things. They smiled. They explained things slowly without getting impatient. It made English feel like a safe space. And that safe space is so important. A lot of learners grow up thinking English is something to be afraid of. Tests, grades, criticism, embarrassment. But improvement videos flip that idea. They make English feel warm, friendly, welcoming. And that emotional shift, from fear to comfort, is one of the biggest reasons learners finally start speaking.
Yes, it's like your brain unlocks. Once you're no longer afraid of looking silly, you start experimenting, trying new sentences, new sounds, and honestly, that's when the real improvement begins. I used to practice speaking in the mirror for months. Just repeating phrases I heard from videos. Can you say that again? Would you mind helping me? That makes sense. I totally agree. I repeated them until they felt natural in my mouth. And one day, someone spoke English to me unexpectedly. And the phrases just came out. I didn't think. I didn't translate. I just responded. It felt like magic. But really it was just repetition. Day after day.
Repetition is powerful. And the funny thing is, most improvement videos are built on repetition. But in a fun way. They use different topics, different voices, different real-life situations. You're listening, shadowing, repeating, without even realizing you're practicing. And that's why learners love them. No pressure, no rules. Just natural learning. And speaking of natural, you know what helped me the most? Shadowing entire conversations. I would play a dialogue, pause after each sentence, and repeat it exactly. Tone, rhythm, emotion, pauses, everything. It felt like training for a performance. And after doing that for weeks, my speaking became smoother. I started sounding more natural. Not robotic. That was when I really felt like, okay, I can actually speak English like a real person. Quote.
And videos are perfect for that because you can pause, rewind, replay. Something you can't do in real conversation. They let you learn at your own speed. Fast learners can jump ahead. Slow learners can take their time. No judgment. No competition. Just personal growth. And I think that's why improvement videos are so addictive. They give you little wins. Every time you understand a sentence you didn't understand before. Every time your pronunciation improves. Every time you memorize a phrase, it feels good. It feels like progress. And little progress builds big progress.
Absolutely. And another thing they give learners is exposure. Exposure to accents, expressions, slang, body language, cultural context. English is not just a language. It's a culture. And videos show you how people really talk, how they react, how they soften their tone when being polite, how they speed up when excited, how they use hand gestures. These things are impossible to learn from textbooks alone. But through videos, learners get to step into real English-speaking environments, even from home. That's why improvement videos are one of the most powerful tools in the world today.
And I think that's why the Talkish English Channel is growing. Because we're giving learners exactly what they need. Real conversations, natural topics, authentic speech, daily expressions, vocabulary they can use right away. We're not teaching English like a school subject. We're teaching it like a life skill. Something you use to travel, to work, to make friends, to explore the world. Something useful, alive, practical.
Yes. And to everyone watching, your journey matters. Your improvement might feel slow, but it's happening every single day you choose to practice. Watching improvement videos, repeating phrases, thinking in English, listening while cooking or walking. It all counts. And when you join us on Talkish English Channel, you're not just learning English. You're transforming your future, one video at a time.
So keep going. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep improving. Your fluency is not a dream. It's a process, and you're already in the middle of it. And we'll be right here, helping you every step of the way.